Hey guys, and welcome to the return of one of my oldest video series, and that is, well, kind of a weekly flipping series. Now, I initially dropped it 4 months ago, mainly just because I was burnt out. I wanted to do some other content, and I just felt like I had too many videos on the go at once. So, and another reason is because I was sustaining the account with bonds, so I kind of felt obligated to play the account to find items every single day, or else I would just be kind of losing money on membership. This time around, I'm going to be paying for the membership with just regular money, and I'll leave the in-game gains to be not meddled with. So I think my goal is going to be getting 1 bill on this flipping account. I realized my initial goal when I first made this series was just 100 mil, but you'll see after this episode that really getting to 100 mil won't take very long. So I don't really think that that's a long-term goal. I think a bill is still actually kind of reasonable. Now you might be asking, what about your road to 1 bill account? And honestly, I'm just thinking of renaming that because that has never been really the goal, and it's kind of my own fault. But it's never been, it's just a progress account, honestly. Probably just going to name it what it is, maybe come up with another catchy name, but just kind of shift the whole goal of getting a bill to this account because it makes a lot more sense. And then I don't have two overlapping titles kind of thing. Anyway, I hope you guys are excited. If you are, definitely leave the video a like so I know, and let's get started. So what we're going to start off by doing is trying to buy a couple of the Dragon Full Helms. Now with the new update, those have started to rise up in price because they're getting removed from the drop table for the Brutal Black Dragons. So yeah, we'll put an offer in for 2 of those. Hopefully they don't drop down because that would be a little unfortunate. Next up, we're looking at the Zenyte Bracelet. Not a very heavily traded item, but we'll give it a try. We're going to try buying it for about 10 mil, which looks about good, and we'll do 2 of those for now. We're going to stick to some slow items. And last up, with the rest of our money, I'm looking at the Zamorak Pages 2, I believe, which actually have a 60 or 80k margin. So that's actually pretty good, 655 to like 700 or something. For the price isn't bad, and we'll just do the buying limit. Which is, oh sorry, we only have enough for 3. So we'll do that, and we'll come back with hopefully some of these slow sales being completed. So I ended up not going with the Dragon Full Helm, mainly because the price was just going up and down way too much. So we ended up buying the Eternal Crystals instead, which we're still waiting to sell off. The Zenyte necklaces ended up making 423k on each, so about 850k in total, which is really good. And the total made about 135k off the Zamorak pages, which is still pretty respectable. So next up, I'm thinking of buying the Anku legs. It looks like on GE Tracker it is about 837k margin, which is amazing. Again, the GE Tracker is a sponsor of mine, so if you want to go check them out, there will be a link in the description. It's very useful for items like this. They're much slower because it'll give a lot more accurate prices. So especially for items like this, GE Tracker is extremely useful. So we'll put an offer in for 1 Anku legs for now. And once again, I'm going to go ahead with the Zamorak page 2, or a Zamorak page at least. And we'll go maybe for 12 is a really awkward amount. Yeah, let's do 15, we might as well. That's 3 times the buying limit, but we will be at work all day, so that's not a huge deal. And last up, we're thinking of going with the Din's Bulwark. Looks like 150, a 200k margin. Isn't as good as some of the other items, but we'll give it a try, and it kind of fits our cash amount perfectly because we'll do 2. Ah, no, we can't. That's unfortunate. We'll go for 1, I guess. And last up, I guess we're going to do the Magic Stone. It's not an item that I end up buying that much, even though it does tend to have a very good margin, but there is a shop you can go ahead and buy this from anyway, so oftentimes you won't get people selling it to you, but whatever. We'll give it a try for about 956k each. And hopefully we'll get a 50k margin on that. Okay, so unfortunately a lot of our offers didn't end up buying at all. The most profitable thing that actually did come through is the Eternal Crystal, which we ended up getting a 200k margin on pretty well, and giving us about 582k in total. The Din's Bulwark didn't end up selling off yet, so hopefully we'll kind of break even on that. Now another item that has been affected recently by an update is the Dragon Harpoon, which I believe has hit rock bottom is my guess. So we're going to go ahead and buy some of these, and hopefully we can profit off them nicely. So I think they're going to raise up hopefully 500k to a mil, because they have reached their bottom point, I'm assuming. So we're going to try buying them for 82.30, and we're going to go ahead and buy maybe 3 or 4 of these. Alright, we ended up lowering her down just a little bit just to be extra safe, and we'll go for 5, and that's going to be pretty much it. That's all our money. So unfortunately, I should have held on to my Dragon Harpoons a little bit longer. I only made about 120k per harpoon, so about 630k in total, which isn't bad, but again, I should have held on a bit longer. The Din's Bulwark we just broke even on, so that's not a huge deal, and the Magic Stones I got about 100k in profit off of. Okay, so next up we're looking at the Mystic Steam Staff, which is a fairly cheap item with a 60k margin on it right now. So we'll go ahead and buy maybe 10 of these guys, because they're not too expensive. And items at this price tend to have a much better ratio you're getting back, so we'll go ahead and do 10. Next up we're looking at the Armadyl Page 2, again another page which looks like it has about a 70 or 80k margin on it, which is excellent, so we'll go ahead and maybe do 10 of those as well. Gonna have to hit the buying limit on this one, I believe. 10's good. Next up, another mid-price item is the Holy Wraps, which looks like we could buy maybe around 800k and sell for maybe 900, even a mil possibly, because they don't trade enough, so I think the margin could stretch to 200k, but we'll put them in for 801, and I'll maybe do 8 of these, which I think might be the limit. And with the rest of our money, I think I'm going to dump it into the Infinity Hat. This item tends to have a pretty good margin on it pretty consistently, and the price kind of switches back and forth quite a bit. So we'll probably dump the rest of our money into this, because it's about 3,400, and 10 of that would actually be pretty much our entire cash stack. So we'll do 10 and call it a day. Alright, this is very successful. All 4 flips came through very nicely. We'll start with the Mystic Steam Staff, which was the worst. 53k margin, 160k in total. The Armadyl Page 2 came in with 106k on each page, which is awesome. A 530k profit in total there, awesome. Holy Wraps had a 174k margin on each one, giving us 870k in total on that. And the Infinity Hats gave us 121k margin, but we got 8 of them, so 968. In total, that's a 2.5 mil profit off of all those items. So while we didn't end up buying too many of the staffs earlier, I think I'm going to go ahead and buy some more of the Mystic Steam Staffs. GG Tracker just released their new beta graph, so we'll give that a try. Okay, we'll buy them for 455 and hopefully sell them for 600. That would be a little too much possibly, but we'll give it a try. Alright, so we're going to put them in for 456, and we'll go try 10 of them again, even though they didn't come through so quickly. Next up, we're looking at the Zamorakian Spear, which has an okay margin on it and would come through very quickly. So maybe we'll give it a try. Zamorakian Spear, buying it for roughly around 6.6 mil. Alright, we're going to put it in for 6691, and we're going to, I guess, dump most of our money in here. We'll have to reduce it one more and do 7. And last up, the Trusty Darkness set has always provided some very good flips, and today is no different. We're going to do the Robe Bottom of Darkness, which is a nice cheap item to do and can sometimes have 100k margins on it sometimes, and we're just going to do 10 of them for about 295 and hopefully sell it for maybe 380 or something like that. Okay, so I ended up switching out the Zamorakian Spear for the Eternal Gem, and it's a good thing I did because we got an insane margin on the Eternal Gem, about 310k on each one. We sold them for a couple different prices, but overall we got 310k, giving us about 2.2 mil in profit off that item, which is awesome. The other items were kind of worthless. We got a little bit on the Robe Bottom of Darkness, but everything else was just a break even. But the Eternal Gem ended up giving us such a good profit. This is still a good flip. Okay, so next up we're going to try the Infinity Hat once again. It worked so well last time, why not do it again? 3560 into 3750. That could be roughly 200k profit, which seems pretty good to me. So we'll go put another offer in for the Infinity Hat. 3565 sounds good, and we're going to do maybe we'll just do 4 or 5 of them and save some money for some other flips. Okay, next up we're going to do the Eternal Gem again. I mean, we have to give it another try. That was just such a good flip. We're going to put them in for a little bit even cheaper this time, for about 59.31, and we're going to do, and let's do 4. Sounds good to me. Another 15 mil to use. Last up we have the Obsidian Helmet, which looks pretty profitable. There's a huge gap that's just opened up in the last I could have phrased that a little better. Anyway, there's a good margin on it. Alright, so we ended up ditching the Infinity Hat because it did not come through. Instead, I ended up flipping an Arcane Prayer Scroll, only about a 150k profit on that, so nothing too great. But the Eternal Gem once again came in huge with a 360k margin, and we got 4 of them, so that's about 1.4 mil in profit there. And I think that's where we're going to end up for today, guys. After we claim all the items, we'll be at about 59 mil, which is a 9 mil profit, which I think is pretty good for the first episode. So if you did enjoy the video, please remember to leave it a like so I can know, well, how much you guys are enjoying the series. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys next time.